Hello there everyone, and welcome back to round 2 with the Caesar and Gaul campaign. Last time round we made major progress on this campaign, and I think we should do the same today. However, I mean, the last one was way too long. It dragged out for an hour just because of that long kind of introduction of me saying all the things that happened off camera. But I think we're past that, because the only thing that's really happened off camera is the same as before. They've attacked the few places that they normally attack, and also I treaded through winter. But now we're ready, and yet another legion has arrived, namely the 11th Legion has now arrived. And so that means that I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 legions on the front line against the Averni. Now, even though I've slaughtered so many Averni and I've taken a complete province from them, of Aquitania, they still outnumber us quite a bit. The thing I think is that those numbers are quite inflated because of the navy. Now, I've spotted that they have at least 5 of these, and I wonder if they're not all along the coast, and there might be armies as well somewhere all over the place. So I think there's definitely some inflation to that, or not inflation, but that's inflated numbers. They don't. Well, yeah, inflated it would mean like there's a lot but no value to it. Anyways, this time around we're actually going to go bold, because my spies have reported that there aren't actually that many barbarian armors up here. So we've got these. Normally there's quite a few around here, and there's normally quite a few around here. There could be some marching over here, but we can see that we've got a small one mustering over here. We've got another small one mustering over here. They took a lot of damage at trying to attack me and take me on during the winter. We've got one proper full stack here, we got one proper full stack there, and we got one proper full stack there. So we got basically 3 enemy armies on the front line, and my spies have reported quite far away that there's no like backup coming. And I want to start off here because it would be kind of a big prestige thing to actually take their capital over there. So, and I also really don't want to fight in Narbo anymore. Even though there's a risk, I think there's still a risk that, you know, a bastard like this could try and march on Narbo, but yeah, we're gonna go for it. So Caesar is going to attack here, and we're going to claim the what's it called? It's what is that? It's lead. I was looking for it, and we're going to go ahead and auto-resolve it. We're going to go aggressive. Cut the bastards in half. The thing about these bloody we lost 200 men and they lost 2,600 men. The thing about these, what's it called? Garrison armies is, I mean, they're never enough to defend the place. And then, I mean, when you've got an army there is stationed at the place, then they just become like, it becomes too much suddenly holding the place. So it's never enough on its own, and that's why I still think I prefer, even though there's some things I like about sort of the some certain details, like the detail where the army has a name and it has traditions and stuff like that. I like that, but I still would really like the fact that you could move single units around and you could make your own garrisons that way. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that. So Caesar took this place. We're hoping to complete this province, so this place needs to fall next. Since we don't want Caesar to be crushed there by himself, we're gonna move this army over here. And they never attack this place. They never attack places like this. So what I think we'll do, they never seem to attack towns. So we're gonna bring this guy down here. I noticed this army doesn't have... Oh, it's Mark Anthony. So that's why he has no siege engines. So Mark Anthony's gonna stay here, and then we're gonna have this army, which is the 9th. And then we're gonna have this one, which is the 7th. I think we're gonna have the 7th attack first. It's the more experienced legion, and also it's got the Magnus Ballista. So they will be the one to attack. We're gonna encircle, and the 9th is gonna move up to aid them. And oh yes, I'd put the phone on. I don't know if you heard that, but I'm actually doing the laundry at the same time. We're gonna go ahead and I think we'll just go ahead and auto-resolve this. Should be quite easy. 78%, it's pretty high. I like how it's such a big difference. Close victory. Decisive. In certain points it can go in between victory and defeat. This one is not as clear cut as some of the others, the one with Caesar, so we're gonna go ahead and quick save. Do it twice, just because that's what gamers do. A pro gamer moment there. To make sure that you actually did press it the first time. We lost 1,000 men, or 1,200, but the enemy lost everything, so it's pretty good. And we took that, and now the entire province is now ours. And to make sure I can't fortify, I can move into ambush stance, which could be a thing. Ambushes have been really useful. If we can move him into the forest, oh, that just lost the points enough to do it. So now we kind of hold all the towns, which are the weak points. And I think the towns could probably hold out themselves. I'm gonna go ahead and redo all of this. We're gonna see if the enemy tries to attack us, which they might do. Probably have to resolve that as well. And then I hope that we're gonna go ahead and bring down their capital, which will be a major blow to the enemy. Also, we unified this province. So, I don't know what we would need for this. I think forced labor for this one. And then this one is kinda done soon. So we'll switch from forced labor to culture, because they have put all the like druid ladies here. To the point where I have 65 points of influence, with 33 from character, 21 from building, and 3 from culture, and I'm only increasing it by 1%, compared to them, which have put 27 points, where 23 is from character, and somehow that sort of, because if you remember from the beginning, I gained like, I think 5% or something like that per turn. So I'm moving up Agrippa from Massiliana. So he's gonna come and help here. And yeah, I'm gonna go and take the laundry out. But you won't note this. And end turn and see what the enemy comes up with. And we're back after that end turn. The enemy did not move at all, it seems. So, I'm not entirely sure. They seem to have been... Maybe I've crushed the spirit of the Averni, because we are gaining a lot of ground here, and seemingly they're not doing anything about it. This army at least suffered quite a bit. So I'm thinking this way, that the these two will take over the advance. So what we want to do is we want to have Caesar and this force. Probably actually have this one lead this time rather than Caesar's force. And Caesar also made it to become a level 10 general. So he's got 10 stars, so he's a full star general at this point. I mean, I can do it with just this one. I don't even need to bring up Caesar, but I think losing that capital will probably be a pretty big thing for the Averni.
Waiting for orders. For death and honor.
So, the thing is, the sieges are usually quite boring. It is the capital, so it might be a special castle, but no. We have stood still for so long. Let's gain as much bloody ground as possible. I'm thinking that if I can possibly, I like how he's called Polo. I actually got him just because of that, because it kind of sounds like Polo from Rome. And I usually go for this, don't I? And then the ammunition or the replenishment rate. We'll start with the replenish.
Commander,
And Caesar will go into camp. And so we took the enemy's capital, which moves their capital to where? They moved it over here, which isn't even their full province. We're not gonna go for that one though, because I don't want to get these guys to come down upon me. Not until I'm ready. I'm thinking if I like bring together a bunch of my legions, then maybe we can take these guys on, or at least kind of a large part of them. They have suffered quite a bit during winter. Some of their forces were clever enough to go into winter camping or head back across the border. Some of them, quite a few, did not, and has suffered casualties here in the snow. But that's pretty darn amazing, the fact that we took this. I'm gonna tear everything down because it's a lot easier doing it that way, and then rebuilding whatever I want to build there. One thing that I have noticed actually, which I should take care at and start building towards, is that since you start off with quite a bit of food in this campaign, I think you start with 100, I was kind of careless and I just started spending it, and I noticed, like, I think last turn or 2 turns ago, that I was running out of food, and that at the current pace that I was going at that point, I would be running out of food. What we're gonna do, since to keep up the progress, is we're gonna move these 2 legions forward to attack the enemy. Oh, they have brought kind of a full one there. This one is part of this one, so we want to take that one out. So I'm gonna bring the 12th and the 13 to attack Jurotincon. Which those seemingly really powerful. It's a powerful picture anyway. So I imagine these are quite powerful cavalry units. A lot powerful than Roman shit cavalry anyways. But if I bring both armies, that would be enough, I hope. Now I'm auto-resolving quite a few fights, but don't worry, we will have a fight. But I'm kinda hoping that we'll have a fight that we haven't really had before, and not like the same battle that we usually get. Let's go ahead and make sure that we don't lose a unit out of this. So balanced is best for this one. And slash a doodle, he's gone. Seem to have localized all to this one cohort unit. And occupy. And the general gains level, which is good. What does this do? Siege, hold that down, cultural appropriation. Yada yada yada. Dreaded commander. That could actually be quite good. And I don't think I've had that for any other commander. Chance of wounding it. Campaign movement range morale during battle in foreign territory. Morale for all units. Booming voice. So this is all for like... So he's a kind of a dreaded commander then. And we'll place you back here. And the spy can move forward to discover new areas. So I'm gonna take as much land as I can. We kinda left this area unguarded, but that's why with us moving forward here I can move these back to protect this, because I'm kind of figuring that the AI is still kind of going for the easy targets. Also, you notice that I'm making no money in this province. That is because there was an event similar to the barbarian uprising that took place down here, Gallic uprising, where we got a little cut screen. That we got another one. Didn't give me a video though, so was no point in showing you, but basically some bandits attacked the government officials as they were bringing the cash back home. And with that, we're gonna end turn once more, and I think it's high time we find ourselves a battle. And so we're back after that end turn, and yeah, we're doing pretty well, I must say. I'm a bit disappointed in the fact that it seemingly goes from being, I mean, super hard, I must say, with all those armies that we needed to deal with, to now the Averni putting up no resistance almost whatsoever against me. Like, they haven't made a move to counteract any of my gains. I've taken the capital, I've taken so many places, but they're not really doing anything. And quite what I noticed now is we have quite a lot of these legions up ahead that are not able to resupply this, so up here at the front. But I can't really pull back as of yet. Maybe it is that I am moving in a really good way, but for some reason they're not replenishing, they're not sending forth new armies. Still, if you look, the Averni's power has not really diminished. It has diminished a little bit. To the point where I'm now actually at a better, just a slightly, you can't even tell probably, but just I'm a slightly bit better off against the Averni than I am against the Nervi, which I think is rather interesting. But right now we need a battle right to cap off the video. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and attack this one, and I think we're going to go ahead and play that one, and it's going to be one of those battles where we surround the town and we bombard it to crap and then sandwich the enemy troops inside of it. These campaigns will continue until we reach here, where I think we can be able to safely kind of pull back and try to regather the strength of the forward legions. One thing that I notice here is it didn't really say anywhere on the province, and it's not like it's super obvious if you look at it, but that right there is actually a gold mine. So this province holds a lot of wealth that we need to deal with, and I'm thinking I'm building fields of mass. You know what, this one will change, because there are some that can increase manufacturing industry or mining industry there. So goldsmith would be pretty useful in this town. But with that said, let's draw into battle with the barbarians. Oh, it's even with this, it's actually quite a hard battle, which is exactly what we need. A bit of a challenge. And even better, not only is it a challenging battle, but it's a new battlefield that we haven't seen before. It's a village raised up, the entire village, and they've got a little bit of barricade going around it. Some of it has been pulled down, and like they have a bit of a fort around this area, even though quite a bit has been pulled down. And then they've got a small, not a lake, but a small pond in the middle of it. And then, I mean, you can go even up here. You can be everywhere. Right. It's going to be a little bit difficult because it's a hard to get to area. Right. So this is how the enemy. Ooh, they sally forth. I should have thought of that.
Our reinforcements have arrived.
Oh, this is going to be hard. Oh shit, they're going for my catapults, aren't they? Cavalry's to the front. Right. Brace for impact, everyone. Anti-cavalry tactics. Shit. Send in all the bloody infantry. Alright, all the cavalry is actually messing us up quite a bit. Stand your ground and throw Pila to get rid of the cavalry. This legion needs to march here at all haste.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
As quickly as possible. The cavalry will march here immediately. So this could cause quite a problem for us. Let's see if we can pull back the cavalry a bit. Right, some of the enemy cavalry has been...
One of our units has used all its
Christ.
ammunition.
Has been kind of cut down. We're holding the formation. I'm pulling my cavalry back as their infantry is advancing. They kind of sallied forth here, but as I can see now, they're actually pulling back towards town. It was more of an initial attack there. Damn. That is so... The cavalry charges are so powerful. You wonder how the Romans dealt with cavalry, but obviously it wouldn't have worked like it does in Total War. I guess these guys have noticed the fact that this legion is coming in, and I think they will actually re-establish themselves to guard the entire camp. So we're not going to charge completely headlong into battle. Gonna get my cavalry over here though. Get those archers. And I think the two Magnus Ballistas need better use, as I can aim for this area right here. So our cavalry is chasing down these archers. No, they have shields, so they can't be archers. They're throwing spears then. They're moving up here, which I don't really get what they're doing. And then their commander is moving out, which really lends itself to an opportunity for us. where we could possibly...
March! Brave Romans to a man!
So the initial shock subsided for the Roman army. We're gonna just pull these back because I don't want to get pulled in too much. The initial shock of the barbarians sailing
One of
forth.
our units has used all its ammunition.
I don't know why they're sending out their commander.
Brave Romans to a man! Romans all! Ready for orders!
These haven't used the Pila.
Legionaries!
The Romans kept their cool and they're surrounding the enemy commander. They're sending troops after my cavalry over here. I'm gonna pull them back over here. Or no, they need to really rejoin their own legion. As
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
the enemy is coming closer. So they went after one of the weaker units. But we're putting quite the pressure on the general unit by throwing Pila into his back. And now the last one is going to throw its Pila. Kind of a little bit too far away. I noticed we hit one of our own there. The bastard even pushed his way through this cohort. All I need is really one extra at this point because there's so few left, 23 of them.
The enemy general is dead.
I guess it's that guy right there with the wings on his head. And yeah, that's pretty nicely done. Now they're sailing forth towards the other army, which is kind of interesting. With that, let's just take as much ground as possible then. And open up the Magnus ballistas. Tell these two to fire the explosive rounds. They're outnumbering us. You know what we're gonna do? We'll march down and protect our flank with this little village. The first cohort will be stationed behind, and then all the others will make a line that extends far out there. The cavalry will move over here. The legate will move back. It's a bit of a danger doing this reshuffle at this point because of the fact that the enemy was shooting at us as we were doing it, and we're not going to get a better time to actually throw the Pila. They're focusing down here, down at the village. Oh, they're throwing above this one to hit this one. Move into defensive testudo. This one was absolutely crushed. For some reason they're sending in their Gallic missile units. Some swordmen. Oh, they're going full speed for this side. The Legion will charge through. I don't know who's in command of this force, but get these. We'll get all the cavalry stationed here, and we'll get the legate. Well, we know who was the commander. He died right here somewhere. Where did he die? Somewhere around here. Here, I think. Somewhere here there lies a man with a golden helmet. Or a bronzed helmet with wings on the side. But that's not the important part. The important part is that we make it here to this line before it breaks. They're putting heavy pressure here, and especially on the flank there. And you would think they would actually attack with all of this, but no. Which is kind of the perfect target for the ballista. It's pretty hard to miss firing at that shit. We're gonna put our commander in the forest. He's protected by the forest end. And I think the Legion is gonna move out like that, and we're gonna attack the stretch out here, and we're gonna defeat them here rather than trying to take on everything at the same time. Gonna use the rally. I don't have an inspire ability. Guess this legate does not have that either. Let's see. They're kind of protecting all these units with spear units in the back. Damn, we're killing loads here. The line is holding so far, but it's at risk of being destroyed on this side. Exploding these guys to bits. And now the 7th is coming in to aid the 14th Legion. Fire at something more in the back so you don't hit our own units. I don't even think we have time to really gather up. You guys need to get in there. They're peeling off troops to stop us from going in. Trying to avoid the ones that are trying to stop us. That one kind of broke really quickly. We want to get through and help the line. Unfortunately, right now I can't really do any close-ups. This one's down at 61, so we really need to break through here and aid. Oh, they're going. He's going through the lines, going after the legate. Right, we broke there. You know what? Pull back. And then join in back here instead. So fall behind the line, move in and join the fight back there, and then, you know, throw yourselves into the fight. And to make sure everyone holds, we will raise the banner or the eagle or whatever you want to call it. Break that and join in the fight. We're gonna hold these guys. Let's see. Time to have these pull in there. And I can have these two. Gonna move against the enemy there. These two needs to come over there. Ooh, the line is really thin on this side. 33 men. But right now, there's so many troops coming from the back that we're cutting them down. And we're winning on this side as well. Throwing the troops in. And then we can start to kind of have these guys peel off to attack the clump, which they made right here for some reason. Oh, and these have they've definitely held off the enemy over there. We have a single cohort there, kind of outnumbered against loads of enemies, so they could do some, need some aid. And now the enemy here is about to get crushed. So we can move these guys over here to aid. And unit by unit. I'm gonna tell these two to hold fire. There's a risk of us killing our own men. The two last shots there though was pretty darn effective. Didn't I tell you to just hold fire? Wait. Did I? I guess I didn't actually tell them to hold fire. Legionaries! Everyone charge in and slay the barbarians. They had a really strong position. Oh, look at that. I don't know if you saw that, but that barbarian right there just cut the head of a legionnaire. The thing is, they had a really strong position inside town. So I don't know exactly why they decided, you know what? I mean, the first attack there to take out one army, or one legion before the other one arrives, was a clever plan, but they didn't fulfill it. Like, they didn't go through with it for some reason. And I mean, the name of the game is really surrounding smaller parts of your enemy and destroying them. You can see some of their units are actually leaving or trying to get back into town. We haven't seen that. I don't think we've seen that yet, or I've showed that close up. But there's a pretty nasty kill move when they charge spear units, where basically the spear guy kind of stops the attacking guy right in his tracks by putting the spear straight through his, like, underneath his jaw, up into his head, and he pushes him, like, up into the air, which is pretty darn nasty. The men of Gergovia isn't so tough anymore, are they? I think it's also one thing why the difficulty has changed so much is I think the fact that I've moved away from a lot of the mods, that weird mod setup, it's made it easier. Shit. I missed that. So they were going after the legate. Tried to snipe him there at the end of the battle. That one swordman unit. But that's not gonna work. These guys have surrounded that unit. This one's about to break as well, seeing how many Romans are facing it. And there comes the legate back for vengeance. And the unit is crushed. And Rome stands victorious on this field. But there's a lot of dead men. A lot of the dead people this day. Victory! And there we have it. Cut his face off. So we have an unusual high amount of casualties on our side. 2,000 Roman legionnaires lie dead. But then again, we killed off 7,000 barbarians. And took 1,001 captured. But you can see quite high casualties in some of these units. But we gained ground, we gained rank, and I mean, soon we'll be, if we continue like this, we'll be into open ground, where it'll just be a rush to the sea and then beyond over into Britannia. Anyways, we're gonna end it right here, so hopefully you guys enjoy this. And hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!